Welcome back to Pilates by Brianna. Today's workout will be another about 30-minute class. It'll be using mostly our wooden dowel. So if you don't have a wooden pole, you can use a cane, you can use, take the broom off of a broomstick and you can use that. Anything kind of pole. If you have a tower, you can use a roll down bar. That's an option as well. I have my foot bar in a lowered position and I have on one heavy red and one light yellow spring to start. So grab your pole, and we will be using our box as well. So grab your pole, grab your box, one heavy red, one light yellow, and then we'll get started. Grab a hold of your pole and bring the arms out in front. And you're going to grip the pole so that way it's between your thumb and your forefinger. Thumbs are facing up. Sitting up nice and tall, you'll raise the arms up overhead and then bring both arms back down in front of your shoulders. Bring it up for a nice shoulder stretch and then lower it down. Every time you bring the pole up overhead, think about growing a little taller, sitting a little taller, reaching through that crown of the head, feeling a stretch in your shoulders. Two more here. And then this will be your last one. And then bring the pole down in front. You can change your grip to a more comfortable position if you would like. Arms go out in front. We'll do roll backs. Scoop the stomach as you roll back as far as you feel comfortable. And then come back up to your flat back. When you roll back, keep the feet on the ground. So you're only going as far back as you can while keeping your feet, keeping contact into the ground. Arms stay out in front, about shoulder distance apart. You can inhale back and then exhale to assist you on your way back up to a flat back position. Two more here. Inhale back and then exhale to come back up. And last one. And exhale to come back up. Good. Rest the arms down. We're going to add a march into that. Arms will come back out in front. You're going to scoop, roll back halfway, hold here. Bring one knee up into a march, place it back down, and then the second leg back down. So just marching here, bringing one knee in and then the other one. 8 is going to be the magic number for today. So for this one, we're doing 8 on each side. You're using your core to stabilize, so when you lift up one leg, we're not rocking at all. Pole will stay level to the ground, and you're using your core to help steady yourself. One more on each side. And then roll all the way back up. Rest the arms down briefly. We're going to add in a rotation. We'll go to the right side first. Arms will come back out in front of you. You're going to scoop, roll back halfway, hold here. As you march the right knee in, you're going to rotate to the right, back to center, and then repeat, and back to center. So rotate, lift the right knee, come back to center, left foot lowers. We have 8 of them. And then you can come back up to your sitting position before we switch sides. Last one. And then come all the way up. And then we have 8 on the second side. So arms will come back out in front. Find your C curve as you roll back halfway. This time we'll rotate to the left as you march up your left knee. Lower that left leg down as you bring the arms back to center. And we have 8 here, staying in that half roll back position the entire time. Last one. Come back to center and come all the way up. Good work. Come to lay on your backs. We'll put the feet on the platform. Pole will stay between the arms. Arms will go up towards the ceiling. We're going to start with a shoulder punch. Pelvis is in neutral, arms up towards the ceiling. You're going to reach the arms up towards the ceiling and then bring the shoulder blades back onto the carriage. So it's just a little shoulder protraction and retraction. Elbows stay straight the entire time. You're just lifting the pole up towards the ceiling, and then you're bringing the shoulder blades back onto the carriage, working through our shoulder blades. Last time here. And then keep the arms overhead. We're going to do a bridge. Tuck through the tailbone, engage the core as you begin lifting the hips up off the carriage, and the arms will come down to your hips. And then arms will go back overhead as you lower the hips down. So as you lift the hips up, you'll lower the pole down to the front of your thighs. And then as the hips lower, the arms will go back up overhead. One more to go. And then you can rest everything down. We're going to do our mid-back series with the pole through the short loop. So thread the pole through the short loops, and then we'll be holding onto the pole for our pull downs. So go ahead and take a moment to get set up. When the pole is through the short loops, arms will go up towards the ceiling, legs in tabletop. Pull the arms down to your waist as you straighten out the legs, and then bring the knees back in as the arms go overhead. Exhale as you pull down and straighten the legs. Inhale to bring everything back in. It's going to be a shorter range with the arms than we usually do because the pole, of course, will stop at your thighs. To lower the legs, the more challenging on the core. We want to keep the spine in neutral. So if you feel anything in the low back, don't lower the legs down quite as much. This is the last one, and then we're going to add in a chest lift. So same thing, pull down, straighten both legs, but raise the head and shoulders up off the carriage, and then inhale as everything lowers. We'll exhale into our pull down with leg extension and a chest lift. Inhale, everything rests down. One more like this, and then rest everything down. The next set we're going to do is triceps, and the legs will be in a frog position. So they'll be in a turnout tabletop, heels together, toes apart, knees in line with the shoulders, elbows are bent, straighten everything out, and then pull everything back in. Straighten everything out on your exhale. Inhale to bend the knees and the elbows back to the start position. Last one like this, and then we're going to add in our chest lift. So same motion, but now you're lifting the head and shoulders up off the carriage, and then as everything comes back in, you'll lower the head and shoulders back down. Exhale out, inhale back in. You're trying to get to about the bottom tip of the shoulder blades as you raise the head and shoulders up if you can. Last one like this, and then rest everything down. We have one more in this set. We're going to stabilize through the shoulders, and the legs will move. So arms will go up towards the ceiling, over the shoulders. Legs will come up into tabletop. Two options. You can either straighten out the legs for big hip circles, or you can keep the knees bent for big hip circles. I'm keeping my knees bent. My hips don't really like it when they're straight. And then we're just doing big hip circles. Pick one direction. We'll do about 8 before we switch sides. Stabilizing through the arms, you have the pole over the shoulders. Last one in this direction. And then when the legs are back at center, we're going to pause and reverse the direction of your circles. So we're just going the other way. Arms have not moved. They're still directly over your shoulders. Last time around. And then when the legs are back to center, you can rest everything down. Take the pole out of the straps, hang up the straps. And then you could windshield wiper the knees side to side, get a little stretch in the low back. And then when you're ready, you're going to step off to your right. We're going to change the spring, so we're on one medium blue only. And then you'll stand up, turn around to face the carriage, and you'll pick up the close strap. The pole will go through the short loop. And then you're going to have your left hand underneath the strap, right hand above the strap. And we're going to do squats here. You're in a wide position, hips are externally rotated, toes pointed out, squat down, and then use the glutes to come back up to your standing position. Pole is staying in line with your belly button, nice and controlled. Last one. And then we're going to add in a rotation. So now you're going to squat, you're going to rotate towards the foot bar, and your left leg is going to pivot towards the foot bar, and then come back to center and back down. Squat, rotate towards the foot bar as the back leg rotates as well, come back to center and back up. And you have the pole slightly off your stomach, and you're really using the core to help rotate. We've got two more. Last one. Come back to center and back up. You're going to bring the pole so it's horizontal, turn to face the risers, and the strap will be on the left part of the pole. You're going to bring the left leg back and come into a lunge position, and we'll do a row here. Pull the elbows in towards the chest and then relax them back out. Again, the strap is more towards the left hand, so we're using our core to have to stabilize here. We're holding in the lunge, really working through that right glute and the left quad. Next time the pole is in at your chest, pause, little lunge pulses, lower down an inch, up an inch, really working that right glute again, holding it here, behind the shoulder blades are engaged to keep the pole in at your chest, and then come all the way up, and then come to kneel on the carriage facing the risers and put the strap on the other side of the pole. And then I'm sitting back a little bit, and I'm sitting on my heels. You're going to bring the pole up and overhead as you come to a high kneeling position, and then as the arms come down, you'll lower the hips back down. So it's a circular movement with the arms, and as you press in and up, that's when you're going to lift your hips up into a tall kneeling position. So a nice circular motion, nice and fluid. We're really flowing through this one. Last time around here. Good work. And then we're going to reverse that. You're going to start with the heels, the butt down towards the heels, and then arms will shoot overhead as you come up to high kneeling. Bring the pole down to your chest and then sit back towards your heels as you press the pole out away from you. So as you raise the arms up, you'll come to your tall kneeling. Pole will come down towards your chest, sit back down towards the heels as the arms press away from you. And we'll make this one our last one. And rest down. I'm going to reach back and put on one light yellow spring. So I'm left with one medium blue, one light yellow. Come into a tall kneeling position. And then I'm scooching back so that way my ankles are off the carriage. Palms are up, and we're going to come into bicep curls. Bend the pole in towards the chest and then straighten the elbows back out. Last time here. And then you're going to take the left strap off the pole, hang up the strap, step off to your right, take off that one light yellow, so you're left with one medium blue, and we have our squats on this side. So the pole is in the short loop. You're going to take a wide stance. Hips will be externally rotated, so the toes are pointed out. You have the right hand on the bottom part of the strap, left hand on the top, and we're doing squats. You're sitting back, spine is straight, and then use the glutes to help you come back up to upright. Last one here. And then we're going to add in that rotation. So now you'll squat, rotate towards the foot bar. That right leg will rotate towards you as well, and you'll be on the right toes, heel will be up. So squat down, rotate and pivot, come back to center and back up. About 5 more here. Two more. Last one. Good work, you guys. Keep the pole or keep the strap on the pole. You're going to turn to face the risers. The strap will go on the right side of the pole. Bring the right foot back, come into your lunge position for our row. Bend the elbows in and then control it out. The right knee is hovering above the ground and you're feeling a lot of work in that left glute. And we're just doing a simple row here. Next time the pole's in at the chest, pause, little lunge pulses. Lower down an inch or two and back up an inch or two, using that left glute to do the work. And then come all the way back up. We're going to end up kneeling facing the foot bar. So carefully kind of come onto the carriage, have the pole in front of you, and then you'll pick up the opposite strap and put it on the other side of the pole. Feet will be up against the shoulder blocks, and we have some chest work here. This is going to be very similar to the circular arm movement we did facing the other way. So sit back towards your heels, press out as you lift up, and then arms will go up overhead, back down to your chest, and sit back on your heels. As you press out, you're raising the hips up to a tall kneeling. Arms will go overhead, down towards the chest as you sit back down. So same thing that we did in the other direction, but now we're working the front of the chest. Last one here. Press out, come up, arms go overhead, bend the elbows, arms come down to your chest. And then we're going to do triceps. Bring the hands a little bit closer together, and then you'll come up into your tall kneeling position, arms overhead, bend the elbows and straighten the elbows. So bend and straighten. Try to keep the elbows facing forward if you can. We have 8 times. Last time. And then bring the arms down in front and sit back down. Take the pole out of the straps, hang up the straps, come on up, and we're going to put the short box on. Put on a few more springs as well, and you're going to find your safety strap. So short box will come on, we're keeping the pole, and your feet will go through the safety straps. You're sitting facing the foot bar. Once you're in position, arms will go out in front, and we're going to do roll backs. You're going to tuck the tailbone as you roll back as far as you feel comfortable, and then arms will go overhead. Keep the arms overhead as you come up, around forward over the legs. Drag the pole up the shins and come back to your flat back. Exhale as you scoop and roll back, arms overhead. Come all the way up over the legs, rounding through the spine still, and then come up to your flat back. We have 6 more like that. So pretty similar to our warm-up we did at the beginning of class, but now we're working even deeper into our rollback since our feet are in the safety straps. And then we're adding in the element of raising up the arms, so you should feel more abdominal engagement required for that. Last one with our C curve. And then once you find your flat back, we're going to pause and we'll do our hinge back. So you're going to keep the spine straight as you hinge back, keeping the chest open. Arms will go overhead. Keep the arms overhead as you come back up to your flat back and then lower the arms. So hinge back, arms go overhead. Keep the arms overhead as you come back up. Lower the arms. Spine stays straight the entire time. You might find that you can't go quite as far back as you could with the roll back. That's normal. So don't push this one. And last time here. And lower the arms down. Good work. We're going to come into our obliques a bit more. So arms will come out in front. You're going to rotate towards the left. Arms go overhead. Scoop, roll back. Stay back as you come through center to the right. Come back up on that rotation and then back to center. We'll stick with going to the left. Scoop, roll back. Stay back as you go to center to the right and back up. We have 2 more in this direction. Next time you're sitting back up, rest the arms down before we do the other side. So we have 4 starting to the right, arms go overhead, rotate to the right, scoop, roll back, stay back as you come through center to the left, then come back up on that rotation, come back to center. Rotate to the right, scoop, roll back, come to center to the left, come back up and find center. 2 more here. And then lower the arms down when you come back to center. Take the right foot out of the strap. Pole is going to go underneath the right knee. And you're still on your flat back. Bring that right leg towards you as much as you can. And then you're just going to straighten out that right leg and then bend the knee. We're going for about 8 here, just stretching into the back of the leg. You're only straightening the knee as much as it allows you. If you're tight in the hamstrings like I am, try not to let your body roll back as you're trying to straighten the knee. So try to stay as flat as you can. Last one. And then we're going to repeat that, but in your C curve. So scoop, roll back, and then do the same thing. And you might find that you have a bit more flexibility here. So you're strong through the core, and we're just straightening that right knee and bending it. And then come back up and we'll switch sides. Right foot will go into the strap, left leg will come out, pole will go behind the left leg. Find your flat back And we're bending and straightening that left leg about 8 times here. Last one here. And then you'll scoop and roll back. And we've got 8 in that roll back position. Your core stays active the entire time. You can sit back up, take the pole out, put both feet on the carriage, and we're going to do just a little stretch for the arms. Arms will go overhead, and then you'll bend the elbows, but the pole will go behind your head for a little stretch into the chest, and then back up overhead. So bend the elbows, pole comes behind your head. As the pole comes behind your head, try not to shoot the neck forward. So if you can't get it behind your head, that's okay. Just go as deep into it as you can. Last one. And then you can lower down the arms and come on off. We are done with the box, and we're going to finish with kind of like feet and straps, but using the pole. So you're going to put on one heavy red, one medium blue, take the box away, come to lay on your back, make sure the headrest is down, and the pole is going to go between the long loops. So go ahead and take a minute to get set up. And then you're going to put the arches on the pole. We'll start with the legs up towards the ceiling. Arms will go down by your side. And we're going to do pull down. So keep the knees straight as they go up towards the ceiling, and then lower them straight back down. Using the hamstrings to lower the legs down. Last lower lift. And then when the legs are overhead, we'll pause and we're going to go into hip lifts. Arms are at your side. You're going to peel the back up as you raise the legs up towards the ceiling. And then nice and controlled, lower the legs back down. Or lower the hips back down. So you're lifting the hips up, raising the legs up towards the ceiling, knees stay straight, and then lower the back down one vertebrae at a time. Last time. And then when the hips are all the way back on the carriage, you're going to bend the knees and we'll do knee tucks. Press the legs out away from you and then bend the knees back in. Knees will stay parallel the entire time. So you should feel this more in the glutes, pressing out, controlling it back in. Last one. And then when the knees are back in towards the chest, we're going to do a double leg bicycle. So you'll press out, keep the legs straight as they go overhead, bend the knees in towards the chest, and repeat. Press out, keep the legs straight as they go overhead, bend the knees in towards the chest, and press out again. One more time in this direction. And then when the legs are overhead, pause and reverse. Lower the legs down, bend the knees into the chest, and then straighten them overhead. Lower the legs down, bend the knees into the chest, straighten them out overhead. Next time the knees are in towards the chest, pause. You're going to center the right foot on the bar,
Right leg will go overhead, left leg will go out over the foot bar, and we're doing a scissor variation. Pull down with the right leg as you bend the left knee in, pause, left leg will go overhead, bend the left knee, and then shoot it back underneath the bar. So we're doing a scissor variation here. Last time here. A lot of hamstring work you should be feeling. And then bend both knees and we'll switch. Left arch will go center on the bar. Right leg will go underneath the bar over the foot bar, left leg up towards the ceiling. As you pull down with the left leg, you'll bring the right knee in towards your chest and then straighten it overhead. So just our scissor variation. Last time. Good work. And then bend the knees in. Carefully take the feet off of the pole. Pole will go in the hands. You're going to take the pole out of the straps, place the pole off to the side, and we're going to finish with feet in straps, hip circles. So bring the feet into the long loops, and then the legs will go up towards the ceiling. And we'll do our hip circles. Keep the knee straight as you lower both legs down towards the foot bar. Circle them away from each other, around and up. They come back to center and repeat. So big hip circles, just getting a little stretch through the hip joint. One more in this direction. And then when the legs are overhead, we'll pause and reverse. Open the legs out wide, circle them around and down. They'll find each other in the center and bring the legs back up through center. So just reversing the direction of our circles. Last time around here. And then when the legs are overhead, we can pause, bend the left knee, right leg will go up towards the ceiling, grab hold of the right strap, pull that leg towards you for more of a stretch in the back of that right leg. That was a good amount of hamstring work there with our pull. And then we'll switch, bend the right knee, left leg will go overhead, grab onto the strap for more of a stretch through that left leg. And then you could bend both legs, take the feet out of the straps, hang them up, and you are all done. Thank you for joining me. I hope you liked this workout. If you did, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.